Yeah. Beats.
Fire friend like me. If you not want betrayal, fire friend like me. Fire friend like me. Fire friend like me. If you not want betrayal, fire friend like me.
Bombe oh, fire friend like me. Bombe jene oh, fire friend like me. Fire friend like me. Fire friend like me.
Hey, see bestie, the bestie not sweet like my bestie. The bestie la bestie, fire friend like me.
I say, see bestie wanting to happy. Fire friend like me. I say, they want me go. I say,
It's Wednesday, the 25th day of January, 2022. This is Sponge TV and this is Trending Issues. Coming to you live wheresoever you are. My name is Vanny Dix. I'm the lone soldier today on the presentation. Wheresoever you are across Liberia, I'd like to say welcome. If you are in the diaspora, welcome to the program. This is Trending Issues. This is where we discuss all of the trending issues that are occurring in Liberia, Africa, and the rest of our one world. Thank you so very kindly for joining us wheresoever you are. This is Trending Issues. We are here on the program. Lots and lots of issues to talk about today on the platform. We will be connecting with our correspondents across the country to feed us in with the trending issues occurring in those parts of the country. At 5 o'clock this afternoon, we will link up with the newly certificated political party, the EFFL. The president of that party is going to be on our platform, Emmanuel Gonkwe, to talk about the certification of their party as well as their preparedness for the upcoming October election. So wheresoever you are, there are a host of issues to talk about. In Bong County, we are receiving reports about an outbreak of Lassa fever in that part of the county. Unconfirmed report has that at least 8 health workers are being quarantined with a reported case of one person being reported dead. Also, we are hoping to speak with officials from Enfield on that matter. We'll connect as well with local journalists in the county to bring us up to speed with what is unfolding in Bong County. Bong County, residents in that part of the country in Tewa District, we are told they have set a roadblock preventing B company from going on into the county to operate in that part of the country. What are they doing that for? Mark Rogers is in that part of the country. He will be telling us issues in bombing. What is happening there? Latest report of the gruesome murder reported of a young boy, age 2. We will be speaking with police spokesman Kato to bring us up to speed with what the police is doing regarding that case, what actually occurred in Bombing County. Local journalist Tawe Sokulu is going to also fill us in with the report in that part of the country. In Nimba County, the heated debate. MDR, what seemed to be a split in the MDR. Frankly, Dolokwi is going to fill us in with what impact is the statement from Senator Johnson having in the county as we stand. Margibi County pre-election tensions are said to be mounting in that part of the country. Margibi County correspondent is going to be filling us in. That's Emmanuel Digler. So a host of issues are being lined up on the platform for you. My name is Vanny Dix. Damo is not with me today. He's occupied with other matters. But hey, you can trust that we're going to have a fascinating discussion on the platform this afternoon. So like I said, we will be speaking with our correspondents as well. We will be bringing in chip chat on the platform. But still with us now as we take this very brief break. Join you back on the platform this afternoon. This is Sponge TV and this is Trending Issues. Please stay with us wherever you are.
So French so French the bestie not sweet like my bestie. The bestie la bestie, fire friend.
I say, see bestie wanting to happy. My friend. Okoro, 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 okoro. They won't step on my blessing, but God get a breaking heart. Okoro, they won't carry my blessing, but God get a breaking heart.
Thank you for joining us back on the program. Like I indicated, there are a number of issues to talk about today on the platform, from Bon County to Grand Bassa, that's Grand Bassa, Grand Cape Mount, Bombing, Nimba County. All of the trending issues are coming up very shortly on the platform. But before then, what's happening across the country from our own end? What seemed to be a breakdown in protocol. Yesterday, we saw members of the legislature raising issue with the executive branch on why they were communicated to regarding the upcoming SUNAN, that's the State of Nation address by His Excellency President George Weah. On yesterday, Montserrat County Senator Darius Dillon took exception to why would the executive communicate to that body, inviting them to the President's State of the Nation address. He said they should not have received any invitation because that day is going to be an official working day for members of that body, so they are not expected to receive any information surrounding that. We are also being told that last year, since President Weah delivered a State of the Nation address, members of the legislature are yet to receive copy of the statement that was addressed to that body last year. They would like to have a copy of that statement as well. Also, some of the trending issues taking place. We are being told that the remains of the fallen standard bearer of the PLP, that's Dr. Daniel Cassell, is going to be laid to rest on Saturday. We are being told that's going to take place in the US. So with not much also to delve into, we'll be doing that in time between. To talk now to our correspondent there in Bon County, Matali Colley is in Bon County. We will now be going live to the county to hear what is unfolding in that part of the country regarding the Lassa fever. Matali, good afternoon and welcome to Trending Issues.
Good afternoon, Vani, and let me say good afternoon to those following the presentation this afternoon.
Matali, are you getting me?
Yes, I'm saying good afternoon, Vani, and good afternoon to those following the presentation.
Bring us up to speed. What is it we're hearing about this outbreak of Lassa fever in Bon County? What is it all about? Give us details surrounding that.
And so the outbreak of Lassa fever in Bon County, even though it has been in the news of recent time, but this is not something that has not happened. Bon County is a county that is known to be the third populated county in Liberia. And Bon County has been hit with the Lassa fever outbreak over the years. So health workers in the county, have tried to bring this to the attention of the Ministry of Health in finding solution to this life-threatening sickness. And so it was recent time when we talked with the health authority here in the county, because we understand that some people who were reported dead and examination being conducted on the bodies of those that were reported dead, even though their names were not disclosed. We also understand that some of the people who die as a result of Lassa fever, even though the health authority in the country did not make that clear to us, or they did not confirm it to us.
How many reported cases of death are we talking about?
Well, of recent, when we did our investigation, we understood that 2 persons were being reported dead, but they were not confirmed, because when these things are happening, it would take time for the health authority in the county to make it public to the people out there, or to make it known to the people. So they have tried to have the information one way or the other, but information to gather from sources, is that those people, some of them died from the Lassa fever.
We are also receiving report that several health workers are being quarantined at a health facility. What can you say about that?
Yes, it was quite recently when the news came out. The Phoebe Hospital and the Phoebe community is one of the major centers of the Lassa fever outbreak, because when the outbreak took place in Bon County a few months back or few years back, Phoebe Airstrip community and that of the rubber factory community in Banga were the two communities that were in the news about the outbreak of Lassa fever. So of recent, when the news came out, they said some people, some health workers, I think about 9 persons were being quarantined, and they are suspected.
Is this latest news having any impact on maybe commercial activities or other activities in the county? To what extent is it impacting situation?
Of course, it has negative implication on commercial activities because, mind you, Lassa fever being, a very bad sickness that is being, transmitted through, rats. This has raised the attention of people because going to the marketplaces, this is a commercial situation. And the people in particularly Swakoko district where you find the Phoebe hospital, they have called on the authority of the county, particularly the health authority, to see reason to encourage people to clean their surrounding areas. If not, they will put stop to what they call the regular Friday market activities in the area, because they said the uncleanness of the city and some areas in the district, have led to the outbreak of Lassa fever in that part of the country.
Collie, we will hold you there. Stay with us, please, as we bring on Dr. Ralph Jetor. He's from Enfield. Earlier on, I spoke with the Minister of Health, Madam Wilhelmina Jala, and she did confirm that the Ministry of Health, alongside Enfield, have started mobilizing medications to be dispatched to the county. We will now talk to Dr. Jetor on this. Dr. Jetor, I'd like to say good afternoon and welcome to Trending Issues.
So thank you so much, Vanny, for having me on your show. And let me just say good afternoon from my end to all those viewing into this platform. Thank you so much for having me.
What are we doing? Where are we with the situation in Bong County? What can you say?
So first and foremost, Lassa fever is a situation that we continue to battle as a health institution. In fact, it's a situation of endemicity, meaning that Lassa fever is with us, especially counties that are considered Lassa endemic counties, and of which we have Lassa belt running through. Take, for example, Lofa, Bong, Nima, Bassa, and Magibi as well. Those are counties that we consider the Lassa belt and endemic counties. So the Lassa belt runs through the counties. So it's a year-to-year thing that we battle, we encounter throughout the year sporadically. But what is important to consider with trending issue is the fact that this outbreak is an outbreak that started since January of 2022. It has been sustained, and it's not just Bong County. We have had 3 counties involved in response since last year, and January of last year. So Bong County, Nima County, as well as Grand Bassa County have all been through these challenges of the outbreak of Lassa fever. So yes, and part of the trending issue is the fact that, the seasonality of Lassa fever is actually curved towards the dry season. So you have the peak season of Lassa fever infection during, of course, the dry season. So it's a situation that we've always prepared for, because we know that in the dry season, we will have so many of the cases coming up. And so, like the colleague from Bong County have indicated, it's not a strange outbreak. Lassa fever is endemic, meaning that it's living with us in some part of the country. So
can you confirm before we go further, can you confirm cases of death as well as health workers being quarantined?
So let's get the record straight. Let me give you a few stats of the response. Okay. Since January 2022 to now, we have documented 81 cases, confirmed cases of Lassa fever.
In how many counties?
In the 3 counties.
Okay.
With Bong, since this actually Bong has been highlighted, with Bong recording 31 of those cases. Unfortunately, we have had 26 deaths cumulatively from the 3 counties. Of course, the death associated with Bong is 6 deaths. Now, with the issue occurring whenever there is a situation of Lassa fever infection, there are what we call surveillance due diligence. So there are surveillance officers throughout the country in the 15 counties. So we have what we call health facility surveillance focal person. We have district surveillance officers, and also we have county surveillance officer. Because of the complexity of Monserrate, we have further created a layer within the district of Monserrate to have zonal surveillance officer in Monserrate. I'm explaining this because we have people searching for these diseases, not just Lassa, but 23 diseases and conditions that we are actively monitoring as a National Public Health Institute.
How many cases of death have you been able to recall so far?
I just indicated 26 deaths since 2022.
81 cases.
That's what I just said.
Okay.
So from the 3 counties, we have 26 cases. Bong documents 6 deaths so far amongst the
Are they health workers or ordinary citizens in the county?
So, Chief, let me just put the conversation in perspective, because I know a lot of listening public would need to have this education.
Go ahead.
So, like I was saying, whenever a case is detected, we obviously by surveillance due diligence, you want to document people that have come in contact with that case in order to monitor them. So, Bong County alone currently have 72 contacts. 72 contacts. Amongst those contacts, we've had 26 healthcare workers, meaning that contacts, people that have got in contact with infected Lassa cases. We do risk assessment. They are low risks. We monitor them that 24 hours to make sure they do not be lately detected, meaning that the moment you develop signs and symptoms, we initiate treatment and readily. So that has been the situation. So Bong County have had 26 health workers. It's not they are isolated, they are being monitored. So we are monitoring these cases because they are contacts. Like other family members who have treated some of the infected patients as well are being monitored. The issue of health workers' death is something that was unfortunate. So far, we've documented 1 death in healthcare worker from the Phoebe Hospital. But it is important to indicate that because whenever a health worker or healthcare worker is infected, and we are very cautious about it because we want our people to go to health facility and very safe. So
has it reached a point, Dr. Jeto? Has it reached a point to declare this a kind of health emergency in any of those counties? No. Has it reached that point?
No, we have not reached the point of health emergency.
Today, when
Lassa fever case.
Okay. Go ahead.
Lassa fever case, according to our own guidelines, is equivalent to an outbreak. So, like I said, Lassa fever is endemic. We've been responding to Lassa fever throughout the years since probably way back at 1976. So it has been endemic with us. And because the robustness of the surveillance system post-Ebola situation, we have strengthen the surveillance system to detect most of these cases. So it's a situation that we living with, and so the surveillance system, the healthcare worker are continuing to battle the diseases through these responses. So it's not that it's a new phenomenon. No, it is not. So that's why it's good to have the education on Lassa fever for our people, especially to our people in Bong County. Is so much important to make sure they understand what Lassa fever is, to understand precautionary measures to take.
When you talk about this being with us, then one will want to know what is the major reason why we have this being with us as a country.
So, Lassa fever, first of all, is an acute viral zoonotic infection that is transmitted by rats. And because we have rat to human transmission, and the rat live within this country, so of course, in as much we have the rat, and people are continually getting exposed to the rats, of course, we're going to have the situation like this. So, especially so when you have secretions, because the mode of transmission is that coming in contact with the secretions, the bodily secretion of the rats. So, like if you, for instance, open or have these loopholes into your home, and you have rats coming in, they're going to urinate on your utensil, lick up, deposit saliva, as well feces into these and dishes in your homes. And if we don't properly manage these utensils, of course, and people get in contact with these secretions or the excreta as well of these rodents and get infected. Also, there is a mode of transmission through human to human. So if a John is infected of the virus and is being managed, and a person get in contact with the bodily fluid as well of that infected person, that exposes that unexposed person to the infection as well. So that's why it is critical that we all prevent the issue of rats being in our homes. That's why we've communicated to our counties that are characterized with this endemicity that, hey, you have to continuously clean your home, because the rats that we're talking about live around homes because they survive on food remnants. So they creep into homes to get the food remnants, and as well in the process leave their bodily secretions on cooking material, dishes, spoons, as well as water that people drink in. So it's so much important that people clean their home. That has been the message, and thankfully, Bond County Authority has really been committed to this process, especially with the superintendent, the county health team. We have always been engaged with what we call Lassa fever hotspots. So, like Mr. Colley indicated, Phoebe Estrait, Swakoko Town, Robert Fadri, those are areas that we consider the hotspots in Bond County. So we continue to engage the county to make sure that the issue of sanitation is enhanced, the issue of quick referral to the hospital, because the more important thing is for you to be detected early, to get to the health facility and get treated. Like that, the medication is very effective. That's why we encourage people, because most of our citizens self-medicate. If someone has fever, somebody has headache, the first thing they do, they go to the hospital. The situation get great, they move to the health facility.
Dr. Jeto, before we take leave of you quickly, what are you doing to ensure that you don't have now to other counties that are closer to those affected counties? What is the Ministry of Health doing?
So the health system is quite aware. There are contingency plans that we've put in place, and especially when we are involved with the dry season, that plan get activated. So the entire surveillance system is on alert, including the neighboring counties with current outbreak counties. So they are on the alert. The coordination platform is on. We had a very active surveillance chat room that we exchange information on an hour-to-hour basis. So the chat room is quite active. So we are quite aware of the situation between counties and intra-county as well. So we continue to get engaged with the surveillance folks at the sub-national level as well. And of course, the county health team is engaged with the national authority. So this is so far some of the issues that we continue to do.
Dr. Jeto, thank you so very kindly that you could take our call.
It's a pleasure, Fanny. We hope to be back to have this opportunity to speak to our people, because it's important, and especially when we have Lassa fever increased cases in the peak season or the dry season. So we need to educate our people. We need to inform them, and we also like to inform our people to avoid self-medication. Please, they need to go to the hospital, because the earlier we detect the cases, the effective the management outcomes are for our people. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. So we will go back again to Bond County. Thank you. We will go back to Bond County to speak with Matali Colley. We are also receiving report from Bond County, just as in Bombing County, the reported case of the gruesome murder of the 2-year-old boy. In Bond County, we are also receiving report that bodies are being found dead even over waters in other parts of the county. But before that, some of the trending issues hitting us this moment is that Punch TV, we've gathered so far that the Liberia National Football Association has just appointed Ansu Keita as head coach of the Lone Star team. He was named earlier today, and it comes at a point in time where the Lone Star is gearing up to face the Bafana of South Africa in Monrovia very soon. Some few weeks ago, also, we saw a strong word statement that came from James Salisa Deepa when he questioned issues about Keita being appointed as head coach of the Lone Star team. Also, a big gun has been shot from Dr. Lester Tenney, responding to the statement that was actually released by Senator Prince Johnson on yesterday regarding the stance that the MDR is going to be taking not to support the Congress for Democratic Change. Dr. Tenney has written saying, I listened to Senator Prince Johnson outburst on VOA a few nights ago that he has decided to part ways with the ruling party. And he further said that Twe Magio Nangbe all ran to his house to plead with him to stay. Well, the party of Twe, that's the part of Twe and others going to his house is true, but the reason was not to stay with the CDC. Let me state the reason why Twe and others went to PYJ. What I do know is that their visit was to formally tell the senator that while the ruling party enjoys the 6 years of relationship, geopolitical circumstances have created a space for the revisit of the relationship. Senator Johnson was informed by the visitors that due to the sanction imposed by the United States, the conditions that characterize the sanction, the government and the ruling party will be uncomfortable maintaining the political marriage, and thus the ruling party decided to cut ties with Johnson's party. How come the alleged war crimes candidate reinvented the narrative of that discussion? That is interesting. As a matter of fact, the government continues to enjoy the confidence of the people of this country and doesn't need any political institution to assist in its re-election. He goes on by saying, yes, the ruling party, I'm trying to get the bottom part of this comment. How can the alleged war crime candidate reinvent the analysis? As a matter of fact, the government continues to enjoy the confidence of the people. He also went on to say, yes, the ruling party is looking forward to collaboration with any political party on the basis of shared vision to transform this country, and not on the basis of partition jobs for mostly misfits who sneak into this institution to enter government for the purpose of legitimizing their national robbery. Liberians will re-elect Weah on the jobs he has done and continue to do. The age of renaissance is here. The technology and innovation have created a space for the people to see from afar the works of their government. Yes, we are going to these elections with some huge liabilities, but the alternative, preparing to unleash a tsunami type havoc of unprecedented stealing, cannot be given such opportunity. Liberia must rise. Weah was not perfect, but even in its imperfections, Liberia has indeed changed in all spheres. In all spheres, yes, we acknowledge that there are still many things that went wrong, but things are falling into place. The ruling party is taking center stage in governance of the country. Many of the current unproductive people who stole the people's revolution and slipped into our government will not remain. A new day. A new day. Okay, he's talking about a new day. We hope to have a continuation of that statement. So the question now is, who's saying the truth? Senator Prince Johnson has said he was approached by officials of the party for the MDR to lend support to the CDC in the ensuing October election. A strong worded statement has been released by a member of the Coalition for Democratic Change, a very staunch member of the CDC, saying that no, the statement released by Senator Johnson is unfounded. It is not true, but rather they were informing the senator that the CDC will no longer want to have ties with him because he has this sanction that has been placed on him from the level of the US government. So we are hoping also to have a rebuttal of this statement that has been released by Dr. Lester Zomatek-Tenney on this issue that has also engulfed the CDC as well as the MDR on this situation. So who is saying the truth? Where do we stand on this matter regarding the CDC and the MDR? But we all do know that the MDR is a key factor to any political institution in terms of collaboration. The MDR holding a very vote-rich county, Nimba County, the CDC, the Unity Party, ANC, and every other county, we are aware that they would like to collaborate with the MDR on this matter. If this is true, we also would like to have officials of the party, the CDC, also releasing an official statement on this matter as well, because this borders on the integrity of an institution. This is being said that you went to the MDR to forge a negotiation ahead of the impending election, but now we are being told that that was not what happened. So we would like to have an official statement being released by the Coalition for Democratic Change. So that was a strong statement there released by Dr. Lester Tenney. And also, we will still come back on this issue, but like we said, there are trending issues there in Bond County, Bomi County, Mount County. We'll now move in back to Bond County and talk to Corley on this issue of mysterious death being reported in the county. I'm told Corley has gone off the line, but we'll move to Margibi County. Emmanuel Digler is on the standby. Pre-election tensions are said to be mounting in Margibi County. We will talk to Digler on this matter regarding what is unfolding. We are being told that tensions are mounting in Margibi County. Emmanuel Digler is there. But before then, we will run for this very short break. And when we come back, we are hoping to connect with our contacts in all of this county. I'm told, okay, we have Corley back on the line. Corley, welcome back.
Thank you, Vani, and let me say thanks to those of you who followed the presentation, and thanks to Dr. Waller for that explanation.
What is happening in Bond County? Mysterious death, we are being told, reported. What can you say about that? What have you gathered?
And so the issue about mysterious killings, or what people would say ritualistic killings in Bond County, is on the increase. It was quite recently, some part of last week, a little girl was discovered tied behind a school building in Bond County Electoral District 1 in Palala town. And so the family members of that child tried to search for her after going missing for almost 3 hours, but later discover her, tied behind an unfinished building in the area. And the motive behind this, no one knows who took that child to that kind of destination and for what reason she was taken there.
We are also being told that bodies are being discovered on water. What can you say about that?
Yes, it was on Sunday evening when we took a tour around the Job Bridge, at the Job River in Bond County, and Job is a river in Banga. So when community members raised the alarm that there was a body of a man floating on the river, we went there and we saw the body floating over the river, and this body is believed to have been in that water for a couple of days. And the body is yet to be identified, even though community members and that of the joint security in the county managed to have released that body or to have brought the body on board. But then the kind of complexion, because the body was decaying. So it is very hard to identify this kind of situation, particularly to identify the person that was involved in that was being victimized, except a very close family source. And so up to present, the body was being taken from the water. The police is still making announcement for people to come around and to identify this body. And again,
is Bong becoming an unsafe place to be?
Of course, Bong is becoming. Yes, Bong County is becoming an unsafe area to be, when it comes to the kind of ritualistic killing. Not only Bong, you heard the information from Bombing County. And similar issues like this happened again few weeks back around the Kokoya Road area. Another man was discovered lying dead. And then the body spent about a week in that community without someone coming to identify this body. So community members were like calling on the Liberia National Police to see how best they can remove this body from the community, because the body was being decayed and the sense was like embarrassing the community people. So overnight, we don't know who went and lighted fire on that body just to, how they call, minimize the kind of sense that was being taken over in the community.
Have you seen any new tight security measures being instituted by the Liberia National Police in that part of the county?
Besides the one the Liberia National Police Bond Detachment launched a few weeks back, it was earlier December, because according to the commander in Bong County, Colonel Fasu Sharif, this is a yearly undertaking the Liberia National Police Bond Detachment does to launch, a season search and warrant or a season security patrol in the county. So besides that, it was like on the increase in the county during the festive season, where you saw the police vehicle being, moving from place to place, from ghettos to ghettos, moving from unsafe zones to unsafe zones, arresting some of those people who call themselves less fortunate or Zokos in the area. But since the Christmas season and that of the New Year celebration, the security patrol has been minimized. We no longer see the security officers moving around the city like they used to do during the festive season.
Thank you so much. I call you for speaking to us this afternoon. If there are other issues, we will definitely rejoin you on the platform at another time.
Thank you ever so much, Danny, for having me on the show.
Thank you. Unconfirmed report also we are having is that we don't know how authentic it is, but we are told that students at the state-run university just chased out the vice president, Madam Joy Howard Taylor, out of the university campus. Why is that happening? Reportedly, we are hoping also to connect with folks there to bring us up to speed with what is unfolding in the county. This is trending issues. At 5 o'clock today, we will be having the president of the EFFL, Emmanuel Gonkwe, to bring us up to speed with the EFL activity. What are they doing ahead of the election? What is EFL intending to do in this process? So, like I said, we will now connect with our police spokesman, Moses Carter, to tell us what has the police done so far regarding the situation in Bombing County. Reports of a 2-year-old boy being found gruesomely murdered reportedly in that part of the country. What has the police done? Has there been any arrests so far being made by the police? Moses Carter is police spokesman. We are hoping to join him live on the platform this afternoon to talk about this. But again, like I said, Grand Cape Man County is still on our list regarding in the county. There is a video also trending with the VP where she's been chased out of the compounds of the University of Liberia. That video is trending right now on Facebook. We are hoping also to have that video and play it for you on the platform this afternoon. This is trending issue. Everything that is trending right now in the country, we are hoping to bring them to you on this platform this afternoon. We have been able to speak with the health actors to tell us what they are doing there in Bong County regarding the situation. We will now try to link up with what is unfolding there at the UL campus. The vice president of the Republic of Liberia is being chased out and being referred to as a rogue, and in the tones of the students there at the state-run university. We are doing everything to bring you that clip right now on this platform to see what is unfolding at the state-run university. Madam Joy Howard Taylor, we have been told, is reportedly being chased out at the UL. We are doing everything we can to bring you that clip on this platform this afternoon. What is happening at the state-run university there in Liberia? Madam Joy Howard Taylor, we are told, I'm sure you are getting the sound bite from the background where she's being booed at. So we want to see what we can do to bring you the clip there at the State Run University. There are tightened security measures, I'm being told, also at the UL. What is unfolding? We are trying to make contacts as well to speak with folks, but what is being reported is that the vice president of the Republic of Liberia is being chased out from the State Run University. She's being booed to leave the campus. Students at the State Run University referring to her as a rogue and wanting her to leave the campus at the moment. This is trending issue. Doing all we can to bring you that clip on this platform. Same time, we are doing everything we can to connect with Moses Carter now to tell us what is the police doing regarding the situation in Bombay County. Also, we will be linking up with Mark Rogers in Grand Cape Mount County to tell us what is unfolding. You can see there on the screen at the State Run University, students, we are being told, is a situation right now at the State Run University where students are chasing out the vice president of the Republic of Liberia, Madam Joy Howard Taylor. You can see in the video on the screen what is unfolding. We are hoping to get information surrounding what is unfolding there at the State Run University, as well as making contact with Moses Colley and also Nimba County. Also, we will talk to Franklin Dolokwe there. But right now, what is trending at the moment is the vice president convoy being chased out of the State Run University. What is happening? What is unfolding there? We are making efforts in the background to speak with folks there to tell us what is unfolding at the UL. Moses Carter, we are hoping to connect him. Moses Carter is live on the line. Moses, good afternoon. Moses, good afternoon. Moses, you are live on the program. This is Trending Issues. Hello, Moses. Okay, Moses went live. We will bring you that clip again from what is unfolding at the State Run University. Emmanuel Dickler is on the line. Let us go back. Too many issues to talk about this afternoon. The content are just many. Emmanuel, good afternoon. Welcome. This is Trending Issues.
Good afternoon, Vanny D. So good afternoon to those following the training issue this afternoon. I'm from the city of Takata, 45 kilometers north of Monrovia.
Emmanuel, what is actually the main reason right now we are seeing tension regarding pre-electoral violence, and what are some of those tensions happening? Give us a descriptive analysis of the things that are unfolding in Margibi County.
Now, there's a big tension breeding among young people ahead of the Ottawa's election. And you have people of different factions and supporters of different political groups at each other's throat. And now there was even one recent one that had nearly resulted into fixed fights and that were resulted into people being hurt or wounded. And at the recent situation where the ANC youth leader for one of the districts in Margibi, district number 3, were holding an anti-Mangueil street jam. And he was having a street jam on an anti-Mangueil issue when one of the guys walked in and disrupted the occasion and even damaged the sound system they had there. And that was a little bit kind because they were not retaliation for the group that were hosting the jam in the street. Later they invited the police and they have to go to police station. And this is just the latest of that. But even on Facebook, they fight, they talk and they post on Facebook and tell you that ahead of the Ottawa elections, Margibi County is on a time bomb. And especially with the fact that people of different groups of politicians, supporters, mostly young people, are going more than passing on the even resulting into, as I said, physical attacks on each other ahead of the election. But we still far from the political campaigning period. We still far from a lot of things that will happen along the way during the election.
Emmanuel, are you there? Good afternoon, Emmanuel.
But we're in a situation when the political campaign began.
What have been the concerns so far? Have there been any intervention from any of the county authority or the Liberia National Police to calm down some of
the
these?
The police are trying to call for crime. Now, in Magibi, there's a new police commander that was just inducted a few hours ago. It was one of the issues he spoke about.
Emmanuel, are you there? Are you coming in?
And he has certain the police level of hostilities that is breeding among young people ahead of the political campaigning period. And he has also called for crime, the fact that he called for the media to continue to play its role of supporting the peace process in the country, because when these people are divided on their different political fronts, they run to the media because they see the media as a point that they want to event.
Emmanuel, I will hold you there for a while. I'm online now with Moses Carter. Moses is the official spokesperson of the Liberia National Police. Moses, you are live. Welcome to Trending Issues.
Yeah, thank you so very much. Thank you.
Moses, has there been any arrests so far? Where are we with the situation in Bomi County? The gruesome reported murder of a 2-year-old boy.
The police has done a very good job on the situation in Bomi County. We've done a very good job, and tomorrow by 12 o'clock, there will be a very huge press conference at the headquarters of the Liberia National Police. There will be a display of suspects, of cases that we've investigated successfully. So we will appreciate if your Punch team can join us tomorrow.
Could you just tell the public a little bit about what may have transpired in Bomi? Just a synopsis. While on tomorrow we wait the details.
I'm not going to go into in-depth. Like I said, I will remain very much, resolved to having you come tomorrow and listen to everything that the police has done in arresting the situation in Bomi.
How many persons are there in your custody?
Well, I just can't, tell you in depth, like I said, because it defeats the essence of the press tomorrow. Please come tomorrow and you will get all the details.
Carter, before we take leave of you, when was this arrest made?
Well, it seemed to be like we're going in circles. Tomorrow you will get all of the information that you need. I would just appreciate that you can come to the press conference at 12 o'clock, or you can send a team to cover the press conference at 12 o'clock tomorrow.
Moses, it has been a pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you. Even though I tried to push him to get some word from him, but the police have said on tomorrow there will be a convening of a press conference to give us update on what they've been able to gather so far. Back to you, Emmanuel. You were in speech.
Vani, as I said to you, the police are trying to whatever they can do according to the new commander to mitigate the breeding conflict in the county. There are two people they usually run to. They either run to the police after these issues are happening and go run to the media. So the police is also calling on the media to be very careful about the way in which the flag issue or disagreement among people who are in different political groups. Because in this time of politics, there are people with competing interests. And while they are competing with one another, they are at each other throat because they think that the media too should be there to elevate whatever thing they say. So with the fact that the tension is already starting to breed in the country, the police are worried because if this issue has not been put under control in the soonest time, it might cause further tension.
Emmanuel, who are some of the candidates so far? Before we go, we take leave of you. What are some of the names making airwaves in the county aside from the former Minister of State?
Aside from the former Minister of State, there are different people in the fierce political competition. Now you have the fact that we have 5 electoral districts in Margibi County. And of the 5 electoral districts, you have 5 of those lawmakers going for re-election. There are 4 of the 5 lawmakers going for re-election, with the exception of Representative Ben Fofana. Now you have the fact that district number 1 and have been on recent political attention with the fact that the CDC candidate Tipo Rosa Tabowe have been resisted by his own party, by the fact that the party chairman had declared a political sanction on him to allow former Representative Saboni contest in that district. So it's already breeding tensions there. And then you have the fact that Ava Jones, a former current lawmaker of District 2, now part of the CDC, and also recontesting, and a lot of people think the former lawmaker of District 2 needs to be replaced. And the tension is all about different factions, different groups, and different people with competing political interests. Now, the CDC.
Emmanuel. Okay, we will take you at that. In Grand Cape Mount County, like I indicated, residents in that part of the country, in a specific town called Bagoma, Tewa District, we are told they have staged a roadblock preventing Bee Mountain from entering that part of the country. We are told that Bee has a specific place in that area where they're supposed to carry on exploration for mining activities, but the residents have prevented them from entering that part of the county. Why are they doing this? Mark Rogers, bring us up to speed.
Fanny, as you rightly said in the queue, the residents started this protest about 3 days ago, and they continue to carry on. The reason is that the company entered into the area. They have some discussion with the company that you have come and you have sealed all of our pits that we used to have our mining activity. You have seized all. So we have a gravel. We want you to dig that gravel so that we can make our daily living. So based on that, according to the resident, about almost a month now, the company is here to live up to that. The company agree according to them, and they also told the company to provide them gasoline to run their generator in the town. They have conducted light for themselves, but there's a generator that they need fuel or gasoline to run it daily. But based on that, they said the company also refused to do so.
But for all of these things to happen, there has to be an arrangement surrounding that. Is it part of maybe the company's corporate social responsibility? Is it part of any duty that they owe the communities in that part of the county?
This was the discussion when the company earlier entered. It should be part of their social corporate responsibility. But what they said that they sat with the company, and the company general manager, the country manager, Deborah Allen, gave them the assurance that these things were going to be considered done. But going to 1 month now, they are not seeing anything happening, and they're seeing the company vehicle coming in and out daily, carrying on their exploration. And since there was nothing happening, and this is the only livelihood of them in our community, this is the reason why they said they are going to set up a roadblock until the company can adhere to this, whether they have informed them officially, until the company can dig down gravel. They are not going to release the road for the company to continue operation. When we spoke with the media officer, Mr. Sheikh Suni, about the issue, he said that there was no memorandum of understanding signed between the community and them. While it's true that the company made a verbal appeal to the company. Their verbal appeal to the company, but it is not something that is binding that they have to do. This is why Sheikh Sunni responded to us on the allegation of the citizens. And another thing, the citizens also said that there's a Chinese company that is operating in the area they call KBL. They said they prefer KBL because KBL was giving them their money allowance, what is supposed to get their money, and they were also there doing their money. They were not only living on the company social development fund. But
so back to B, the B mining company. So as it stands right now, they have not been able to access their exploration site.
Currently, as we speak, they are not being able to access their explorational site
because of the prevention.
There's no road to go there. That's the SM. The people are putting roadblock. No car going in. Only motorbike can go in.
Okay. What has been the intervention from the county's leadership?
Well, we haven't heard anything from the superintendent, neither the district commissioner. But the citizen mayor to understand when the negotiation was going, when they were giving the information to the company about helping them, some of the authority, the country authority were in the present. And there, he said, Deba Allen, who is the country manager, gave assuring that the company were going to help in that direction. But up to present, nothing have happened in their case.
Mark, what is the general situation like in part of the country where you are? As we've asked.
Yeah, you're making a follow-up.
Go ahead.
Yeah, well, for where we stand, Cape Man is relatively fine. The other debate that have come up in Cape Man is this issue of citizens obtaining national identification cards before they can obtain the voter biometric ID card. That's another debate that has sparked up in the country that it will disenfranchise or disallow other people from.
So on yesterday, Mike, we spoke with the communication person of NEC. He did intimate that NEC has not set that as a prerequisite for one to obtain their voter registration. He said unless the person's citizen's status is being challenged, then you can produce either the passport, the national ID card, or any other relevant national document. But the national ID card wouldn't serve as a prerequisite to obtaining your voter registration card.
That's a very good clarity. At least we can have the people inform us on the local radio here.
Yes.
And a fellow attempted committing suicide this morning, a 30-year-old guy, only because his wife decided not to go into marriage with him. But as we speak, he's currently in the hands of the police in Robertsport, undergoing some interrogation why he wanted to endanger his life for a woman. So these are all situations coming from Robert Kipman.
What is the general situation now? Western Cluster was mounting in most recent time. What is Grand Cape Mount, the Western Belt Leg regarding Western Cluster? Have they gone to bed on this matter?
Well, they say a statement, especially in the most in the midst of the people of Bomi County, because for Cape Mount, the company is situated in Bomi, so there where they have their problem. But Cape Martinians, on the onset, the bank are thinking about not too many Cape Martinians have had job opportunity with the company. So the issue of Western Cluster is not too much in Cape Mount as it's alarming in Bomi County.
Rogers, thank you so very much for being with us on the line.
Thank you, Vanities. Thank you so much.
Mike Rogers is there in Grand Cape Mount County, feeding us in what is unfolding in that part of the country. We talked to Margibi, where Emmanuel Digler is posted. A host of issues are unfolding in Liberia. You saw the trending video right now with the Vice President of the Republic of Liberia, Madam Joy Howard Taylor, being booed at and being chased out at the state-run university. For reasons, we are also trying to establish what are the issues surrounding that matter. This is Sponge TV. This is Trending Issues. We're going to open the line very shortly to have your interaction on the program. 775-145-832. Again, the number to form part of the discussion this afternoon, 775-145-832. My name is Vanny Dix, and coming up at 5:15 this afternoon, EFFL President Emmanuel Gongwe is going to join us on the platform. You saw the strong water statement on the screen that we display for you from Dr. Lester Tenney responding to Senator Prince Johnson of Nimba County. But like I was saying also from the inception, no one can negate the fact of the exponential impact that the MDR has in these elections, be it with the Congress for Democratic Change, be it with any other political institution. The MDRO alignment with any institution is going to make a very significant impact with that institution. So this is not something we can negate. So yesterday, there was a press statement also issued by the youth wing of the MDRO. Subsequently, we had the spokesperson of the MDRO who also laid out the party's official position that they are not going to be supporting the CDC. On yesterday, you saw the statement released by MDRO big man Senator Prince Johnson. Until on this afternoon, we saw that strong water statement released by Dr. Lester. So the issue now is, why can't we see an official statement from the CDC saying that the engagement with Senator Johnson was not about asking him to come on board, but rather we were saying we don't want to have any marriage with you because you have this dent that has been placed on your image by the sanction that was imposed on you by Uncle Sam. So again, we will now be hoping to speak with our correspondent in Nimba County. What impact has the statement of Senator Johnson have on the people of Nimba County regarding the MDRO position on this matter? Again, the phone line 775-145-832 is the number to call and be a part of the platform. Trending issues, would like to have your say on the program this afternoon. Wheresoever you are in the diaspora, you can join us on the platform. This is trending issues. Monday is going to be the State of Nation address. President George Weah. This should have been actually released on this gone Monday, because Article 58 of the Liberian Constitution makes us to understand that the fourth Monday in each year should be the State of Nation address. But we were told by folks at the level of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs that because the holiday fall on Monday, so the president will be speaking to the nation on this coming Monday. And we saw what appeared to be a protocol breakdown. Senator DeLong is saying members of the legislature should not be rating about attending a state function of that nature. So is there an apparent protocol breakdown in ahead of the State of Nation address on Monday? Liberians are also going to be glued to their radios. They are going to be glued to online platform to know what is there in the State of Nation address. Are we going to see a host of bills being proffered by the president? What are the exponential impact of those bills on the lives of the people? So on Monday, but prior to Monday on this platform also, we will do a pre-SONA analysis on this platform. What should Liberian expect to see in the State of Nation address by His Excellency President George Manneh Weah? Some of the comments on our platform this afternoon, we are hoping also to read them. This is Sandy Ortiz Camara. He says, thanks for this platform. Keep it up. Liberia deserves better. Telewian Jabba says, Dr. Lester, why McGill went with the CDC delegates? We have Milton Oponti Bass. He says, I'm watching from Todi. Tene Padeba, watching from my little corner. She did not specify where she's watching from. Sandy Otis Kamara said, thanks for this platform. Okay, I read that. David G. Johnson, any app for this station? We are hoping to do that very shortly. Mohamed Sidibe, he says so lies. I'm sure that was when we had the official from the Ministry of Health that was on the line earlier on. But 775 that's 0775-145-832 is the number that you could call to form part of the discussion this morning, this afternoon. I beg your pardon, on trending issue. My name is Vernon Dix. We have been able to bring you a host of issues from Bong, Nimba, Bombing County. We will now endeavor to bring shortly at 5:15. We will bring on the EFFL big man on this platform. But before then, we will run for a very short break, and then we will come back. I'm sure the lines will be boozing with your calls this afternoon on the program. This is Trending Issue. Please stay with us this afternoon.
Fire friend like me. If you not want betrayal, find a friend like me. Find a friend like me. Find a friend like me. If you not want betrayal, find a friend like me.
Bombe oh, find a friend like me. Bombe jene oh, find a friend like me. Bombe, find a friend like me. Bombe jene oh, find a friend like me.
Hey, see bestie, your bestie not sweet like my bestie. Your bestie la bestie, find a friend like me.
I say, see bestie wanting to happy. Find a friend like me. I say, they want me go, I say, eh.
So Emmanuel Gonkwe is en route to this place this afternoon. But back to some of the issues that are trending in Liberia. Always, I should say most often, we see prior to elections, this increased cases of mysterious death across the country. I don't know where this culture came from, that the body parts of human being are very important, are very essential to giving people political power or giving people wealth. I really don't know where this culture came from, but this has become a kind of situation that happens from time to time in the country. So here is my own point. I believe not just the police, but even the traditional council, the elders, Chief Zaza Kawa. I tried earlier to place a call to him, but his driver was the one that picked up the phone, and he told me that the chief was occupied at the moment. But the traditional council have got to play a very significant role in aiding the Liberia National Police to identify shrines across the country, to aid the police with issues of surveillance regarding these issues of mysterious killing of people. If you were to see the footage, the picture of the 2-year-old boy on Facebook, it is very unspeakable. You ask yourself, what kind of society are we building? So the situation ahead of the election, there are many issues that happen, and that's when you would like to see heightened security on the part of the police. There has to be increased situation regarding the police surveillance. There has to be a joint effort by the police as well as local authorities in those counties. The traditional elders have got to play a very pivotal role in aiding the police, identify shrines across the counties that could aid the police in making sure that we curtail these things. This practice has been in this country as far back as the Todman regime. If you were to read articles that have been written in Maryland County, the western part of the country, Maryland County has been known as a place prone to this kind of mysterious killing. So we would like to see a high security measures being instituted by the police regarding their surveillance. We would like to see that level of robust engagement by the traditional elders. Chief Zaza Kawa, wheresoever you are, you need to collaborate with the police on this matter. We need to identify the shrines in this country where people feel that only human blood can make them to ascend to state power. Where did this culture even come from? We need to get the traditional elders. Maybe they have some background information that they could tell the public. How did this even come into our society? So earlier, I tried speaking with the. I thought I could speak with Chief Zaza Kawa after getting his contact number, but it was his driver that picked up the phone, and he spoke with me, telling me that the chief was occupied at the time that I called. But we would like to see the police. We would like to see a joint effort by the police as well as the traditional elders. So again, we are fast approaching elections. From the police, NEC, many institutions have to be very active at this point in time. You need to be on the alert to make sure that you are robustly engaged in those issues that concern the electoral processes leading up to October. We need to have a very active police force. We need to have a very active NEC, a very active traditional elders that we engage and make sure that the peace is sustained in this place and that our society can be seen as a peaceful place. These things are not just a reflection on us, but on the international scene. When these cases are being reported, they have the tendency of thwarting international investors from coming to this place. So this is why the state must do everything it can to make sure that the picture that is out there in the public is one that will attract foreign investors, is one that will attract tourists to come to this country. The latest report that are emanating from Bond County to Bomi and other parts of the country regarding bodies being discovered, it is troubling. It is painfully disappointing that people will get on this path to believe that it is only human blood that will serve as the conduit to get them to state power or make them to attain wealth. So this is the responsibility of the police. You sign on to protecting what? Lives and properties. So we are hoping on tomorrow that the police will have information that they will release to the public. Those that have been arrested, wheresoever we the situation regarding the little boy that was murdered, as well as the situation in Bond County. The picture that is being depicted in the public is that ahead of the election, Liberia is becoming an unsafe place, and you don't want this to happen. Already during election period, economic activity can slow down. That is a matter of fact from one nation to the other. Investors are not going to be pumping in money. Even those that are already in country, they slow down with their activities. Then leads to talk about the reports that are up regarding gruesome killings of people in the country. So we hope that the police can institute robust action regarding surveillance and other measures regarding protecting lives and properties in our country. Again, Monday, like I was saying, but there is something that I have always, since we started the program, wanted to talk about regarding some 2 weeks ago when Punch TV embarked on a pre-election survey to know who people are going to vote for in the October elections. And this is what I gathered during the process. While we are with Emmanuel Gongwe to take us up to 6 o'clock on the platform this afternoon, and like I indicated, the number again to form part of the discussion, 775-145-832 is the number that you can call to form part of the discussion. So some 2 weeks ago, we're in the public space, generating the views of Liberians, asking the question, if election was today, who will you vote for? Here is what I gathered. There is a segment of Liberians that say they're going to be voting for President George Weah. There is a segment of Liberians that say they're going to be voting for the former president, Ambassador Joseph Boyka. So more of the people that we interview has presented a picture that the 2023 election is going to be a race between Joe Boyka and George Weah. That is the first fact we would like to establish. But here are some important issues you need to know. The people that I talked to, God being my witness, supporters of President George Weah, a segment said, I'm going to vote for President Weah in the 2023 election. There is a segment also of President Weah's supporter that said, I'm not going to vote for President Weah. 2017, when I voted for him, my expectations are not being met, so I'm not going to vote for him. There is also a group of people that we talked to during the survey that said, my vote is my secret. Then there is a group of people that say, I voted for President Weah in 2017. This time around, I'm going to vote for Vice President Boyka. There is a group that also said, I'm not going to vote for anybody in these elections. So if you were to do a critical analysis ahead of the election, Boyka, people that voted for him back in 2017 are saying, I'm going to vote for VP Boyka again. But when it comes to the issue of George Weah, there were people that voted in 2017. They are saying, I am dissatisfied, so I'm going to vote for Boyka. Then you have another group that say, I vote for him in 2017. I am dissatisfied, so I'm not going to vote. So a critical analysis will tell you that in this instance, Boyka is not missing out on any supporter. Rather, Weah is missing out on people who are saying, I'm not voting for him, I'm going to cross over. Then here is what also I think, those who say my vote is my secret. I don't believe anyone that is voting for the CDC, in my fair view, will say their vote is their secret, especially at this point in time. There was also this fellow that I talked to in West Point behind the camera that said to me, brother, there are many people who support the opposition, but they're not going to be live on your platform to say it for security reasons. So this is really what I gather from the brief survey that we did back a week or two ago regarding who Liberians will be voting for in the election. So a group of supporters of President Weah back in 2017 say we're not going to support him because we are dissatisfied. He did not meet our expectation. Perhaps a performance appraisal was set up and he did not meet that. Another group said we will not vote for him. We will be voting for Boyka. So that's just my fair analysis. You can share your thought on that issue, but I have been wanting to share this thought on the platform since we had that interview with the folks a week ago on our TV. So again, trending issues, too many things to talk about today. You have been saying too many things to talk about today regarding this situation. Soup propaganda chairperson regarding what you saw there at the State-run university is on the line. Mohammed is live on the line to talk to us on what transpired just a moment ago. Mohammed, good afternoon. Welcome.
Yeah, good afternoon, comrade potential journalists. And I want to say good afternoon to all conscious Liberians, especially the conscious students of the University of Liberia.
Mohammed, for God's sake, Madam Joy Howard Taylor is the VP of the Republic. What brought about this booing and as well using some words against her?
Is the light in darkness of the Republic of Liberia. Over the period as a university and an institution of higher learning, the university, through the guardians of the students of the University of Liberia, they have protected people with decent characters, people with noble character. This is why every time at the university, men who have demonstrated criminality in national service can never be comfortable at the University of Liberia. The conscious students of the University of Liberia on today decided to organize to ensure that the vice president is not comfortable on the facilities and premises of the University of Liberia. Number one, this is the vice president when she was the first lady of the Republic of Liberia under the then President Charles Gange Taylor. Under her as first lady of the Republic, that president invaded the facilities of the university, brutalized the students and beat on peaceful students. Under her watch as the vice president of the Republic of Liberia, on July 26, innocent students of the University of Liberia were brutalized, were humiliated, were maltreated, and were brutalized at her watch.
Mohammed.
This is the same vice president in 2015. This is the same vice president in 2015. Took on the facilities and premises of the University of Liberia to declare economic war on the innocent students of the University of Liberia. She gave me the difficult economic conditions. She gave me and announced, pronounced, and read a statement that increased tuition on the student masses of the University of Liberia. So what that occurred today was an opportunity for the students to remind Madam Joy Howard Taylor that she has been a bad influence on the premises and facilities of the university.
What did she go there to do today?
As student leaders of the university, when we saw the conscious students of the university leading that vanguard, ensuring that she is told that the University of Liberia is not a safe haven for people who sponsor and hire thugs to come and wound and brutalize students. As student leaders, we can only congratulate the conscious students that they are becoming conscious enough to take their destiny into their own hands.
Mohammed, what did the VP go there to do on today? What was she there? What was her mission?
Somebody said she has come, to participate in an occasion to declare another department on the university campus. But what we are saying to you, that the university premises and facilities, people who have sponsored the injury of the students will not come here and be comfortable. This is what we can guarantee. The same way the former past president of the Republic were denied entrance many years ago, were denied the opportunity to enter at the auditorium of the capital campus of the university because he was in a government that was distributing poverty and misery and primitive illiteracy on the masses of the students. The same way he was denied entrance at the university auditorium entrance. It was the same way, and it is the same action that was conducted today to ensure that the vice president is not comfortable on the premises and facilities of the University of Liberia. This is a cautious facility, this is a cautious perimeter, and we will do that if the situation reoccurs. When the student masses leave our Manga, we will again congratulate and celebrate them.
Many people believe that this is not the right way that a student body should be proceeding with such a matter. Couldn't you have dialogue surrounding this situation?
The need and the necessity to increase the budgetary allotment of the University of Liberia. If they want to have dialogue, they must increase the university budget from the current budgetary appropriation of a very inappreciable amount to an appreciable amount. If they want to initiate a dialogue, they should come and demonstrate sincerity, honesty, and seriousness towards the renovation exercise of the University of Liberia.
So,
if they want dialogue, they should ensure that education is adequately supported at the University of Liberia. That is the dialogue we can settle for. Not a dialogue where somebody will come here, where the budget is allocated $3 million United States dollars in the university that constitutes more than 16,000 university students. The university that constitutes 1,759 employees is subjected to an unappreciable budgetary allotment. We cannot have dialogue with such people. Such people do not see the interest of education, do not see the interest of education of over 16,000 students. The dialogue we can settle for is a dialogue to see education fully supported. The dialogue we can settle for is a dialogue to see that the university premises and facilities are improved to an appreciable level.
So from the video that I see circulating on Facebook, are you saying the VP could not disembark her official vehicle?
That the conscious students of the university chased out the vice president of the Republic of Liberia. Number one, she was chased out because she has sponsored brutality against the students of the university many years ago. Number two, because she again sponsored brutality against the students and she had no remorse for that. Number three, because she came here and increased tuition on the innocent and downtrading students of the University of Liberia without any remorse. All of the conditions he gave as a justification for tuition increment. These things are not facts. These things are not realities that can be seen.
Mohammed.
All of these things are ghost facts and ghost realities.
Mohammed.
This is what we are saying to you. If this situation reoccurs and the students boo at the past president again, all we can say is to congratulate the students of the University of Liberia because they are becoming conscious enough to take their destiny into their own hands.
Mohammed, before I take leave of you on the line, your action today could cause a reaction from state security actors. Where does SUP stand on this matter?
Reaction can only be seen from an own professional security force. Because in a democratic society, the people must be protected at every level. In a democratic society, the government is never afraid of the people. When you are seeing a society where the government is intimidated, but is afraid of the people and fear the people, that is not a democratic society. That is an oligarchical state. That is a state that is no longer operating on the train of democracy. But in a democratic Liberia, only a security force that will protect the interests of the students and the interests of the people we can emphasize.
Mohammed Shabazz, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon on Trending Issues.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mohammed is a member of the Student Unification Party. You have You have earlier on listened to what we talk about the situation that unfolded at the state-run university. The video is trending right now on Facebook. The video is being displayed on the screen as well for you to have a glance of it. On today, the Vice President of the Republic of Liberia, as you can see in the video, being chased out by student body at the state-run university. You listen to Mohammed providing their own justification on why the VP was on today chased from the premises of the state-run university. This is trending issues. We are hoping to dig deep into that story and come up with unfolding development on tomorrow when we shall have appeared on this platform. 5 o'clock, pushing down. It's 5:27. We are hoping that Emmanuel Gonkwe will join us on the platform to talk about the EFFL on this matter regarding their certification at the level of the National Elections Commission. But I was in speech also surrounding the ensuing election, what we would like to see state actors do. And we also talk about the State of Nation address that is about to come. We also share our thoughts on what we gather from folks when we talk to them in the field on who they're going to be voting for in the October 2023 election. Too many trending issues in Liberia. If you are just joining us, we talked to our correspondents there in Bond County that brought us up to speed with the case of Lassa fever outbreak in the county, and health authorities also from Enfield and the Minister of Health also on the phone with me did confirm that there is an outbreak. Health actors have been quarantined that came down with the virus. Also, we talked to Matt Rogers in Grand Cape Mount County. Citizens in Bakuma in Tewa District preventing a concession companies from moving into the county to carry on exploration. According to them, the company have not laid up to an agreement that was signed with the county. You listen to Emmanuel from Margibi County. Pre-election tensions are said to be mounting there, where youth are reportedly engaging in violent activity, according to our correspondent in that part of the country. You also saw the strong water statement that was released by Dr. Lester Tenney in reaction to the strong statement also that was released by MDR big man Prince Y. Johnson. Who is telling the truth? Is the CDC saying they don't want to have anything with the MDR, or is it the MDR that is saying we don't want to have anything to do with the CDC? An official of the CDC, a star of the party, has said the meeting with Johnson was not to seek his support in the ensuing election, but rather to tell him that we can't work with you because of the sanction that has been imposed on you. Johnson has said, I was engaged. He told an international wire, a reputable international wire for that matter, the Voice of America, that he was engaged by officials of the party to lend his support to them ahead of the election. And I was also talking about the State of Nation address in that is coming up on Monday. We will do a pre-sooner analysis before the president can deliver his statement. But like I'm saying, on Monday, Liberians are going to be glued to hear substantive issues that the president is going to talk about. Many of the concerns, I'm sure, by Monday will be tied around the economy. Yes, many issues will be said about peace and security. Issues will be said about integrity, what anti-graft institutions are doing. But I am convinced that the key attention of the Liberian people will be based on the issues of inflation. Prices of basic commodities are mounting. The issues surrounding the economy, the issues surrounding job. I listened to an interview and watched an interview from the Minister of Finance of the Republic of Liberia that did say this government has not been able to meet the target of lifting the 1. Some more million people that they had earlier said they would have lifted out of poverty in their PAPD. I listened to him also confirming on the issue of job. The government, what troubles me when I even watched that interview, the government does not have a statistics on the employment rate in Liberia. According to the Minister of Finance, when he appeared on Spoon TV, which I watched, the government having lists and don't have statistics on many issues surrounding the economy. How then do you make intervention? Because policymakers have got to work with data. In the absence of data, every other planning will be flawed. How can you eradicate people out of poverty when you don't have the data? How can you provide the issues? This is where the issue of the census is very important, and people think census is just about election. Census gave you demographic results surrounding issues of the economy, issues of people who are poor. It tells you the income status of the people. A host of relevant data are captured within that national data that we call census. But people think it's just about demarcation when it comes to election issues. But no, the census is very important. It gives a reflection also about the economic status of our country and helps policy makers to plan properly. So Monday, President Weah is going to address the nation, but I can tell you for sure, Liberians that are going to be glued, they are concerned about the issues of job. President Salif led this country for 12 years. The dissatisfaction that we know that Liberians had, there were two issues from my perspective. Issues surrounding job, the economy, which we say the bread and butter issue to be simplistic, and also issues surrounding a robust fight against anti-graft. If you were to read all of the TR report, Transparency International, the CDC-led government flunked in all of those reports. Also, later report as well. Many other international instruments that at the point in time when Unity Party was said to have failed in a particular report, it was heralded by the CDC to say, you see, why we say these people are not fighting corruption, CTR report. But all through President Weah's 5 moving to 6 years, if you were to go online and read all of the TR report, the president failed in every aspect of TR own measures. So again, the economy is going to be at the top regarding what Liberians would like to hear the president say. Inflation is hitting Liberians hard. Bread, fuller bread, we always say rice is a stable food, but the bread in this country is also a stable food in our country. The price of bread back then, like $20, $30, over the last couple of years is $50. Many other basic commodities, the prices have escalated. When we listen to the Minister of Finance talk about the inflation rate that is at 7.2%, I hope to stand right on that. And you look at the current reality, then you ask yourself, what is the connection between the data that is being released by the government and the current reality on ground? So Liberians are going to be concerned about the economy. I think, in my view, they're going to hold the president by the barometer of the economy. Yes, infrastructural wise, if you were to do a list, which I have done, and I'm hoping that I can bring that tomorrow. If you were to do a list of infrastructural intervention by the incumbent government, which many persons believe that this government has made some strides, which you can't negate. But if you were to look at the intervention that was made infrastructural wise by the UP, then we can set the stage for debate. I try to catalog them. You will see wherein if I put pro housing by CDC, I also put the intervention that Unity Party had, whether in Markeby or other county. I put ministerial complex by Unity Party and put the 14 military hospital. We put the issue of the new terminal at RRA, and so tomorrow I'm hoping that we can do a rundown of that list here on the platform. But again, that's going to be Monday, and before that, we're going to have series of pre-State of Nation address analysis on this platform. Monday also, we are hoping to have the former police boss on this platform. We have a number of guests that have been lined up for the week. On Friday, former Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs, Elias Shoney, is going to be here to talk about Liberia-China relationship and also the shutting down of the consular service in Minnesota that we are saying is hurting some 35,000 Liberians. They have to travel from one state to another for diplomatic services. But again, that's it. We have Emmanuel Gonkwe from the EFFL that has joined us, but we're going to run for a very short break. When we shall have returned from that break, Emmanuel is going to tell us the platform of the EFFL, where they stand, where are they going ahead of these elections. But please stay with us now as we take this very brief break. This is Trending Issues. Emmanuel is going to be here shortly to talk about the EFFL. Thank you.
Yeah. Beats.
Find a friend like me. Find a friend like me. If you not want betrayal, find a friend like me. Find a friend like me. Find a friend like me. If you not want betrayal, find a friend like me.
Bombe oh, find a friend like me. Bombe jene oh, find a friend like me. Find a friend like me. Find a friend like me.
Hey, see bestie, your bestie not sweet like my bestie. Your bestie la bestie, find a friend like me.
I say, see bestie wanting to happy. Find a friend like me. Alien say they want me go. I say,
Some of them say they want me go.
I say,
Some friends yelling out, oh, ah, oh, ah, oh. Some friends yelling out, oh, ah, oh, ah, oh. Some friends yelling out, oh, ah, oh, oh. Friends yelling out, oh, ah, oh. Hey, see bestie, your bestie not sweet like my bestie. Your bestie la bestie, find a friend like me.
I say, see bestie wanting to happy. Find a friend like me.
Okay, this is it. This is Trending Issues. My name is Vanny Dix. I've been joined live in the studio by the CIC of the Economic Freedom Fighter of Liberia. Emmanuel Gonkwe, it's my pleasure to have you on the platform this afternoon. Thank you so very kindly for accepting our invitation.
Thank you, Vanny. Thank you to the establishment of Punch FM. I see that you guys are doing a great job. Thank you so much.
It's been a while since we interacted.
Well, it's true, but we are here.
Okay.
The lion is always around the jungle.
Okay. You had to go through too many things. Eventually, you were certificated by the Supreme Electoral Body, the National Elections Commission. I want us to start up with a background of what EFFL had to go through before eventually receiving your legitimacy.
Well, I was surviving. The journey has been the rocket for the EFFL and especially to our young people. When we embarked on the journey to pursue full-fledged political party registration as the Economic Freedom Fighters of Liberia, we were met with a lot of resistance, a lot of criticism. In fact, at some point, people said that we were compromised because I left the mainstream media to focus on the registration of a party. So it was so challenging, ups and down battle. At some point, going toe-to-toe with the National Elections Commission. But finally, we are here as a full-fledged political institution, and we are excited about that.
Do you think you were being prevented from being registered as a party, or were there some misunderstanding that needed to be settled?
There were no misunderstanding on our part. I think there were a lot of political forces seated around the high table demanding the National Elections Commission to prevent our registration as a political party. And at some point when we received the intel, I decided, look, we are no longer going to be seated in our quietude and watching the political actors treat us the way they're doing. I think there's need for us to voice out what is happening in the corridor of politics. And then I remembered having a press conference, and then I labeled the president as a dissident of democracy and a byproduct of democracy. And immediately after that press conference, we received a call from the Elections Commission and said, look, we are looking at your file, and I think we don't see any much problem with your file. So I think we are now on our way.
The pressure was mounted.
No,
you think they succumbed to pressure?
No, they succumbed to pressure.
They succumbed to pressure.
And yes, they succumbed to pressure. And at some point, I have to write the U.S. Embassy. In fact, requested international organization to not do business with the Elections Commission, that they were not credible.
Okay.
Because of that radical posture, we saw unusual cooperation from the National Elections Commission, and that unusual cooperation led to the certifications of the Economic Freedom Fighters of Liberia.
Registering a political party, meeting all of the requirements should not be an issue.
Well, it should not be an issue in the democracy, but where we found ourselves, a government that appears to be an autocratic one, will not allow radical voices to exist. So for them, it was an affront for a young man, from Firestone, a young man down Waterside, will rise up, want some money, find himself in South Africa, find himself in the Southern African region, and then come back one day, say he wants to organize a political party. So that's not fun.
You mentioned South Africa. I'm concerned. Your EFF is a continental political institution. At that point in time, did you have any engagement with your bigger body, which is EFL Malema?
The EFF, though we recognize the independent jurisdictions.
Did you take that to their attention? That's what I'm asking.
Well, we're operating as an independent organization because you know that the Elections Commission laws forbade the interference of all of political institutions. But you can form an alliances and you can form collaboration. So in our network, yes, our colleagues in Zimbabwe, Namibia, Zambia, Nigeria, Ghana, and Sierra Leone, they were all concerned. In fact, right now in Uganda, the same challenges we went through to acquire the political party status is what the EFF in Uganda is going through. Ghana is going through the same thing. So it has never been an easy thing for the EFF, to be registered or recognized in the geopolitical space of Africa. It's been very challenging for all of us.
Before I punch you with some of the real questions, you started off as an advocacy group.
Certainly.
And later on, became a political party.
No, but the problem we have in Liberia is the fact that a lot of us young people and a lot of us political followers and those who want to have a part of the conversations surrounding the political space, they do not realize. When we were funded, we were clear that the EFF is a brainchild of the EFF in South Africa, and we are going to subscribe to the founding manifesto, the founding ideology of the EFF in South Africa. But a lot of people did not understand that. So after we started, the momentum grew. We did the Bring Back Our Money campaign, the War Cranko campaign, the Cabinet General protest, a lot of other protests, and when we started going wild on BBC and Voice of America and all the international wire, and talking about our desire to form a political party, they were, they whole cliched against us from the elite political structures in the country, and a lot of people, a lot of them, my friends, peer groups, and people thought, that what Gongwe want to achieve, Gongwe, forming the political party, want to sit around the table with our political leader. Then the propaganda started. A lot of them said, look, in fact, the EFF is a membership of the EFF come across, the people from ANC, Liberty Party, Unity Party, who will ask our partisans to resign. So all these propaganda could not derail the progress we were making. Considering that we were passionate about registering the EFF as a political party.
That was then. Certificate has been issued from Elections Commission. What are you doing now?
Well, let me say this to the public. March 31st, we're going to our national conventions, and delegates will be coming from across the country. We were assembled at the PNV Town Hall, and then we'll have our conventions. The official of the institution will be elected formally. The Elections Commission going to observe that process. Today, we just nominated Pastor Orlando Testimonies Younger as the chairperson of the convention committee. He's going to be conducting the elections. I'm looking forward to a free and fair elections. In fact, in our chat room, the debate is getting very intense. People applying for different positions. Internal campaign is going on because we believe in democracy. In fact, there are a lot of people who want me to handpick the chairperson of the institution. I'm saying to them, no, we have to respect the democratic process of our institution.
Why would someone want you to do like that? Is it a picture in the public that this party is tied around Gongwe?
A lot of people want to pin that, and I'm refusing to adhere to that because we are trying to break away from the old order. We want to establish an institution. I always say to people, many of the political parties in Liberia, they are tolerant individuals. So when an individual step aside, you see that political party crumbling. I do not want to see my leadership going that route.
Will the EFFL field a candidate in the October 2023
Oh,
elections?
yes, we're going to field a candidate.
You're going to field a candidate?
I'm one of those contesting on the party ticket as senator, for example, in my Gibi County. So we're going to
Let me be more specific.
Yes.
You talk about that. I'm talking about presidential.
No. We are not going to field a presidential candidate. Bonnie, I believe the problem in Liberia is not just about the presidency. I mean, the fundamental problem we have is if we can elect radical minds and patriots, outright decision-making people to go to the national legislature. If we can fix the problem in the legislature and have the quality of people that are required to make representation on behalf of their people, we will have a robust, executive branch, and we'll have a robust judiciary. So we're focusing on our attention. We're focusing on the national legislature at the moment. However, there are political conversations ongoing, specifically with opposition bloc. You listen to Senator Prince Johnson, he mentioned our party name on a VOA interview. We're having discussion with different, our political actors, the Unity Party.
A newly established political party. How do you justify the relevance of the EFFL in making sure? Politics, they say, is number. A newly formed party, how relevant are you in terms of this political bargaining?
And every political institution should come around the table in the numbers, as people will say. You cannot outrightly root out the EFFL, for example, even in Monserrado or in my Gibi, where I hail from. We have demonstrated strength consistently. There are a lot of events we held in my Gibi County, and people saw the numbers. So for us, we don't brag about the number. We take actions that demonstrate we have a number. You will see a convention, for example.
Event organized by the EFFL.
Event organized by the EFFL.
Okay.
You're going to see the national convention of the EFFL, for example. Okay. A lot of political parties are going in tight corner to organize convention. We are taking the bull by the horn. We go into the PNV town hall because we are never afraid. We are never ashamed to say these are the people that believe in the EFFL. So we go into the PNV town hall. You have seen a lot of political parties going in kitchen, to organize convention. But we are going to the PNV town hall, and the town hall going to be all over red. I can guarantee you that.
Great. You talk about being approached by some political parties. Is the ruling establishment amongst those?
Listen,
can you confirm that? Have you been engaged by the CDC?
No engagement with the CDC.
But do you intend to have any alliance with them?
For what? Why should we have an alliance with CDC?
Okay.
I don't see the reason why we should have alliance with the CDC.
You support an opposition.
We support an opposition against the CDC.
Okay.
The CDC has.
The CDC is not an option for.
No, they are not an option because they miserably fail the Liberian people.
Okay.
So there's no reason why they should even be having conversation around re-election. I think if the CDC meant well for the country, they will pull out of the elections, considering the terrible outcome of their performance in the first 6 years.
People are talking about collaboration within the opposition. Do you think we need the ANC, UP, and everyone to come together before we can get, before maybe the folks can say there is an opposition win?
Well, we need opposition collaboration, and that's why the EFFL is joining the group of Liberians who are saying that collaborate. I think collaboration will help us to defeat the ruling establishment. We found ourselves in Africa where sometimes ruling establishment finds it difficult to accept defeat. Sometimes they find a way to regulations, and there are many ways to regulations. So for us to defeat CDC in a convincing way, I think we need to come together as an opposition. I think so.
The ANC and the Unity Party, who are you most likely to go in line with?
Well, I mean, our doors are open, but if you look at an ongoing conversation that is ongoing, and to admit the internal, leadership arrangement, the conversation I'm listening to from leaders within the institution.
Which one of them?
I think majority black is moving towards the Unity Party. I think majority black.
From within the EFFL.
From within, I can confirm that, from the the current leadership structure we have. And that's what I want to wait until we go to the National Convention. So after the National Convention, we're going to see again as to whether, you know, the leaders going to pull towards a unity party or they're going to switch to another political party. But the current configurations of leaders, you know, that are within,
they seem to be leaning towards.
They seem to be leaning towards the unity party.
The unity party.
Yeah, they seem to. I mean, they seem to be leaning towards the unity party. And if we come out of the convention and the same group of people become elected, you know, as leaders of the institution, then it means that, you know, the direction will be to support Ambassador Joseph Yuma Boakai.
What about you, Gonkwe?
No, I'm the leader of the institution. I take the decision from the general body. I you know, the general body gave me mandate. They said, look, this is what we want. So I have to communicate that decision. You know, I cannot impose my will on the institution and say, I like the candidate. I have a relationship. For example, I have a very good relationship with Mr. Cummings. I mean, we're very good friends. There's somebody who will call me almost every time and check on me and say, how you doing, you know, son? How you doing, small brother? I have a relationship with him. I visit him anytime. He pays me that call and say, whenever I'm in problem, he's there. You know, but institutionally, I cannot say because I have a very cordial relationship, you know, with Mr. Cummings, and I do have the same relationship with Mr. Boakai. So at this moment, I will step aside and allow the institution to make that decision. And that's something you don't see in institution in Liberia. Normally, the political leader or the leader of that institution would make that unilateral decision and allow everybody else to flow. But I'm saying to my people, we have membership in the diaspora, for example. The EFFL diaspora is becoming a very big group in the diaspora. They are in the United States, in Canada, in Germany, and in the UK. Now, if I am to make that unilateral decision, how would they feel about my leadership? I allow them to make that decision. In fact, after the convention, we will have a voting process on Zoom to allow the diaspora Liberians that are members of the EFFL to participate in the voting process so that we come up with a candidate that we will support. I will not influence any decision of the body. Let the body make that independent decision, that democratic decision, and I will communicate the decision to the public.
Okay. We will go back on EFFL issues, but two trending issues I want you to weigh on right now. One, a report was released by a very reputable institution that has been in the struggle for governance and democracy in Africa, NEMOD. The report seemed not to have a good reflection on the government. That's one. Secondly, there was an incident that erupted today at the state-run university where SUP officials of the party, there is a video trending on Facebook where they chased out the sitting vice president of the republic. What are your thoughts on either of these issues?
I have witnessed that. Whole issue with SUP. Remember, when I supported the former Vice President Joseph Yuma Boakai in 2017, we went at a university and we got chased out, you know, by the Student Unification Party, and I was there, you know, at that time. We organized the student conference for Joe Boakai. There were students from different schools across Macerado. Some of them came from, you know, as far as Bon County, you know, on the bus to attend that conference, to interact with the former vice president. When we got out of university, the student has arrived, you know. Then I heard the battle cry coming from the Vanguard Student Unification Party headquarters coming towards us, you know, and then Ellen Traoré, who is now the assistant minister at the Ministry of Justice for Corruption. I saw him chanting battle cry coming towards me and said, look, comrade, will not allow you to do this. You can't bring the student here. You can't bring Joe Boakai here. You have to get the old man out. I said, the old man would come here. He said the old man would never come here. So we had this, you know, quarrel and arguments and battle cry.
So the CDC, have officials on board that have record of preventing a vice president or sitting vice president.
So it is not a strange thing. When others are preventing a CDC vice president.
They say one good turn deserves another. They say they see you so.
You reap a seed.
You reap
so
what
they
you sow.
sow the bad seed.
Okay.
They chase out Joe Boakai. At the end of the day, I have to kill all the students, parade with the students from the campuses of the university to CWA. And we had a conference at CWA. The conference was so small. The auditorium of CWA was small. We could not host all of the students. So we had issue at that time. Today, a sitting vice president is being chased, so the history just repeats itself.
Yeah.
So no issue. I appreciate the Vanguard Student Unification Party.
You appreciate them.
I appreciate them for what it did. There's no.
Does that have a good reflection on the student community?
The student got issues. They said, look at the University of Liberia. Look at the learning environment.
Was that a decent approach in the society where we always say that we
Vanguard
always say
listen,
fragile?
Listen,
These are some of the reasons we say democracy is fragile.
For me, look, the whole debate about fragility, I'm not interested in that.
Okay.
We have transitioned from the war era.
You don't think we are on a time bomb?
No, we are not on a time bomb.
Okay.
We are a democratic country. We've done several elections. We have done our transition period, with George Wright becoming the president. So we are not a fragile state anymore.
You think so?
We are a democratically a functioning society.
Okay.
So if the student believe that the learning environment has got something to do with the quality of education they're receiving, then they have the right to protest. I think what they did was a classic demonstration of protest. So they protested against the regime. They said, look, come on, you can talk about free creation, but you come at the university, we finally sit down. We don't have a fitting classroom. We are concerned. So you can't have the vice president.
Was that not extreme?
No, that was not extreme. They did that before. The current CDC did that again.
If they did what was wrong, does that mean we replicate that?
No, there's a culture at the University of Liberia. That terrain is a sacred terrain. When you are going to the University of Liberia as a vice president or president, and your administration is underperforming, the Vanguard Student Unification Party has got the doctrine.
That's a culture
to discipline you. So they discipline the vice president today to allow the vice president to understand that university is not a place to go to campaign.
There could be repercussions from state security,
Listen,
foresee that.
You know how many times we got the arrested at the University of Liberia? We care about state security. We don't care when we're doing our thing. We don't care. What is state security? Sometimes we say these malnourished people who cannot even take pay. That's how we refer to them. We don't care about state security. They are not going to do nothing to the student body at the University of Liberia. The student body decided to discipline the vice president is to discipline.
Okay.
Consider the action of the Vanguard Student Unification Party as a disciplinary measure.
Wow. Let's talk about NEMO's report.
NEMO report. We celebrate the report.
Okay.
We celebrate the report. And let me salute Jaglo and his team and for the world compared report. I went through the report a little bit, and I'm going to take my time to go through them. Okay. And I think they did a fantastic job.
They
did a fantastic job. They have the credibility. They have demonstrated that over the years. So I don't believe, the CDC should be knocking and pounding on the doors of NAMO at the moment, like they're doing. I listened to the press secretary getting at the people and saying they lack credibility. How can the press secretary talks about NEMO having a credibility issue when the entire government don't even believe in anything they call credibility? If you have a government that believes in credibility, you will not take the Ministry of Youth and Sport will not get $300,000 Liberian dollar during the county meet to Mike Gibby on behalf of Mangil. They did that. They took $300,000 Liberian dollar. They gave to Mike Gibby County on behalf of Mangil. You will not do that. Look, this government don't appreciate what they call credibility. Transparency. They don't appreciate that, Vanny. So for them to come knocking at the door of NAMO, I think they're wasting their time. The international community will accept that report, buy into that report. The Economic Freedom Fund of Liberia accept that report. We buy in, we believe the report is 100% credible.
Great. I thought you would have gone back to the EFFL and talk about your issues. Support-wise, where do you stand? Political parties need funding in order to execute their programs and activities. Where do you stand in terms of these things?
Well, I think by tomorrow our diaspora member will begin their contribution.
Okay.
They are taxing themselves on people willing to pay as high as $500 for the convention, $200, $100. You can pay any amount. Then we ourselves, we have a leadership structure of 42 person. All of us are going to the convention. We have to pay to go to the convention. The ordinary members, the delegates that are going to the conventions are paying $200 Liberian dollars to go to the convention. So we are self-supportive, and I think that's a culture that we need to develop, that, as political institution, you support what you believe in.
People see you as small, the small EFFL. Small.
I think, look, listen, people always, and the propagandists will say that, small EFFL, that's what they will say. But we have proven ourselves, 2020, for example, Vanny, if we needed to make money in 2020, we would have made money in 2020 because we created all of the atmosphere, the political atmosphere, the political anxiety in Makibi County, for example, when I was contesting. It came a time I walk in the street of Kakata without hearing publicity and thousands of women walking by me and celebrating me. No, when I got out of the process and decided to stay home, there were several calls from the executive mansion. You know, people wanted also endorse the CDC. There were many offered. So how can people say small EFFL? They were offered. I mean, there were conversation from opposition political party, you know, for us to support that candidate in Makibi County. Look, concerning the fact that we never wanted the CDC, you know, to train in Makibi County, we decided to put our weight behind the former speaker Nukwe. Nukwe had a conversation with us. In fact, in that conversation, he said, "Look, CRC, support me now to win, and I support you 2023 to win." So we have to go to that negotiation. We sat around the table and had a discussion. And look, for anybody to doubt our ability, you know, to be an effective political institution, it means you're just basing your argument from a sentimental standpoint or from a propagandistic standpoint. So people who respect, people who know our value, know that we are not a small political institution.
Okay.
And you will see that. Besides the convention, we are organizing what I call taking a certificate to the people. You will see that numbers, you know, because of the certification, I did not run for office in 2020.
Okay.
Now the people of Makibi County, the ones I assurance that I will run, the certification has been issued. We are taking the certificate to Makibi County, and people will see the number. The street will be red once again. So nobody can doubt. Look, Vanny, if even we have one county as our stronghold, it's important because CDC was boasting consistently about Moserado. You know that from 2005 to 2011 and then to 2017, they were boasting of having Moserado under control. If we can fight to have Makibi, the 5th largest populated county in the country, if we can fight to have Makibi County under control, it means we are a strong political institution. Anybody can do business with us. Prince Johnson got on the name, but consistently people doing business with Prince Johnson. So if we can have Makibi County under control, it means that we're a strong political institution. And considering that most of our young people, you know, there are people, when we were going to the National Elections Commission, people talk that, you know, people thought that we would just be like, you know, 5 guys walking to the Election Commission to receive a certificate. But you saw the Jim Fomoya Hall. It was all red. You saw that. The pictures is on Facebook. So how can somebody in their narrow mind say that EFFL is a small political institution? It means you just been sentimental.
The issue with Nukwe, how solid is it when you talk about arrangement and all of these issues?
Well, you know, sometimes political arrangement can be disappointing. We did a very I would say transparent conversation and held a transparent conversation with Nukwe. He promised us in the open at the hotel, Golden Key, that he will stand with us in 2023 to ensure that in fact some of the recordings are there, Pasi FM. He was clear in Makibi County. He said, look, CRC Emmanuel Gongwet is one of the best we have in the county, one of the best we have in the country, and I think there's a need for us to support him. I look forward to the support. But I'm not relying on Nukwe 100%.
You talk about Makibi being a stronghold for the EFFL, but it seemed the former Minister of State seemed to be pulling some numbers in there. But before you respond to that, the Unity Party has released a press statement. I will just go through it and then I will come back to you to respond to that statement. January 25th, 2023, Monrovia, in fulfillment of Article 15, Section 16 of the Constitution of the Unity Party, the national chairperson, the chairman, Dr. Luther J. Tappe, has made appointment on the following standing committees, pending the affirmation of or consent of the National Executive Committee where applicable. The committees include Legal Affairs Committee, the Committee on Programs and Policy, the Grievance and Ethics Committee, the Investment and Business Development Committee, the Public Relations Committee, the Elections and Campaign Committee, and the Religious Affairs Committee. Members of the committees will work under the strategic guidance and direction of the national chairman as part of effort to promote values and strategic objectives of the Unity Party. It goes on to say the chairman therefore calls on all partisans, cadres, supporters, and well-wishers of the Unity Party to accord the leadership of the various committees utmost respect and support. I will come back to your response, and then I will give you a list of those that have been appointed, and then the committees where they've been appointed, and they say it is subject to some level of consent from the National Executive Committee. So we're talking about your influence, where it has been said that McGill is pulling some numbers in there.
McGill is not pulling any numbers in Magibi County. McGill is trooping in people, bossing people to Magibi County. And so when people say McGill, you know, a few days ago, I started laughing at one of his McGill propagandists. You know, they went to, there's a cinema in Magibi County that normally hosts all the political events. So they went to the cinema and they had the cinema filled. They trucked people in. They had the cinema filled and they were celebrating. Look at the cinema is filled. But guess what, Vanny? The EFFL have had 3 different events at our cinema. And most time, we have people outside the cinema nowhere to go in. We have filled that cinema more than 3 times. So for us, we are not excited about the whole conversation of McGill tripping people in. I went to Babylon where McGill made a mistake about entering school 2005 and graduating when whatever the conversation he had. I went there. You know, I was having conversation with the people, and there's a lady who came to me and said, "Will you permit me to just hawk you for what you just told us, the education you provided?" A lot of people in the villages don't know the character of McGill, and we are on the ground providing the education. Today, as I speak to you, my guys are in the Gibi district. You know, people are moving. Today, somebody just printed 5,000 educated flyers, you know, for us that we take into the county. Volunteer. People are volunteering. We are educating the people on the ground. We believe in the groundwork. The EFF political style is not to just put our crowd at every given places. We get on the ground. That's why we call it the ground forces. We call our people the ground forces. So we are trooping in the ground forces. The ground forces are moving. They are moving like a lion. They're going on the ground. So we're going to educate our people.
Many times we listen to political actors say these things on the radio, their presence in the county. And a very prominent figure, Simeon Freeman, I remember at the time I did have an interview with him on the breakfast show. We went to do background investigation as to the presence of the MPC in the counties. And what we uncovered at the time, if you went and saw the party structures of these people that sit in the county and say our presence, our party headquarters, it's sometimes it's all lies.
Listen, Vanny, I think as a young person, I would never endeavor to deceive myself. I'm saying to you, we are on
Do
the
you
ground.
have structures
We have
established in the counties?
We have structures. I mean, in fact, yesterday, elections commissions called on our county commander, you know, Fido Isaac Kamara, you know, and they were having conversation with Isaac Kamara in Miami County. But we have structure. I can show you chat room of Maryland County, for example, great crew. I can show right now. I can do that. You know, so we have structures in the county. All we're trying to do right now is to rebrand, you know, rebuild, recalibrate, and then engage, you know, the groundwork. Engage our ground forces. And win the election 2023. That's what we're trying to do.
Gonkwe, it has been a wonderful interaction with you on the platform this afternoon. Thank you that you accepted the invitation.
Well, thank
Due
you
to the time factor, maybe just a minute you could give a parting comment.
Vanny, let me say thank you once again. You know, I appreciate Patrick Honan and the folks at Punch FM. We have similar story. You went through a lot to get to where you are. We too went through a lot to get to where we are. I can only pray for the best, you know, for Punch FM. I want to see this institution as one of the biggest, you know, radio network in Liberia. We pray for that. We will invite you to follow us to Magibi County. Your TV crew will follow us to Magibi County so that you can see what we are talking about. When I am in the county, I'm in the county as a Lion King. There are a lot of people who refer to me in the county as a Lion King. Sometimes in McGill, people will post the lion and then post the pongipan. You know, that's the kind of, you know, drama that you find out in the Magibi County. But don't worry, I can assure you, let me close on this. Mark Day recorded, I can assure you that we will be the next senator of Magibi County 2023.
Thank you so much, Emmanuel Gonkwe. He's the president. He has too many titles. President of the EFFL, Commander-in-Chief of the EFFL.
You can say President or Commander-in-Chief.
Yeah, of the
President or Commander-in-Chief. It's the same. The same way we refer to Julius Malema. Sometimes we say, Comrade President, or we say commander in chief of the EFF. So it's different. You can refer to anyone.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Thank you for
so
joining
much.
us.
Thank you.
Thanks to those who have been following the program. So you listen to, I'm sure those of you following the program this afternoon, the press statement that has been released by the Unity Party. 3 committees, officials are being appointed to those committees. They are the Standing Committee on Legal Affairs. Those appointed are Councillor Bushuben Keita, appointed as chairman of the committee. Councillor J. Ko Bangalu, appointed as co-chairperson of that committee. Councillor Murphy Kane, appointed as secretary, Standing Committee on Legal Affairs. Councillor Gloria Musu Scott is a member of that committee. Councillor Johnny Momo is a member of the Standing Committee on Legal Affairs. Councillor Mela B. Katako is a member also of that committee. You come to the Committee on Program and Policy, you have Roland Giddens, he's the chairman of that committee. Bemi Horace Colley is the co-chairperson of the Committee on Programs and Policy. Frederick S. Cooper is also he's the secretary of that committee. V. Marshall Sambola is a member on the Programs and Policy Committee of the Unity Party. Abraham Sakama is a member of that committee. Henry Dize Yankwe is a member of that committee. Ophelia Kennedy also is a member of that committee as well. You have the Committee on Investment and Business. A host of persons have been announced on that committee. You have Mohamed Kroma is the let me come to that committee. Mohamed Kroma is serving as, I beg your pardon. Yan D. Twayen is the chairperson of the Unity Party Committee on Investment and Business Development. You have Mohamed Kroma, who is the chairperson, co-chairperson. Joseph Morris is the secretary of the Investment and Business Committee. Ezekiel Yan is a member of that committee. Teresa Gibson, member. Ben Henderson, member. Washington Cooper, member of that committee. Abel Plaki. Okay, you come to the Committee on Public Relations. We have Kula B. Fofana as chairperson of the Committee on Public Relations. You have Rufus Paul as co-chairperson of the Public Relations Committee. Abel Plaki is the Secretary General. Joseph Valai is a member of that committee. Robert E. Wilson, member. Abraham Samuka Kroma is a member. Godwin Weah, member. You have the Election and Campaign Committee. We have Tonola S. Vapla is the chairperson on the Election and Campaign Committee of the Unity Party. On that committee also you have Peter Stephen, he's the co-chairperson. Alex Bolly is the Secretary General. Sadbe Human is a member. Augustine M. Watson, member. Alice Bondo, member. Peter Roberts, member. You have the Religious Affairs Committee being chaired by Reverend James P. Popper, he's the chairperson of that committee. Imam Mohammed Passaway, co-chairperson. Marama N. Barry, chairperson. Bishop Abel Washington is a member. Williams S. Anthony is a member of the Religious Affairs Committee. The last committee, which is the Grievance and Ethics Committee, is chaired by Councillor Augustine Fire. He's the chairperson. You have Eunice Famula is the co-chairperson. Gwegoron Kwesa is the secretary of that committee. Emmett Creighton is a member of that committee. Elizabeth Wright is a member of that committee. Kennedy is a member. That's Kennedy Kwewe is a member, and you have Councillor George Jonah, a member of that committee. But we are told all of those appointments are subject to the endorsement of the executive committee of the Unity Party. Thank you so much. This is Trending Issue. It has been my pleasure being with you on this platform. Wheresoever you are joining us from the diaspora, thank you for joining us on the platform. My name is Vanin Dix. Diamond Slanger could not be here due to other engagement today that he was engaged with. But join us on tomorrow as we engage you on the platform. This is Trending Issues. This is Punch TV. Tomorrow we're going to be back here again with another fascinating presentation of the program. My name is Vanin Dix. Have yourselves a wonderful and a pleasant time on the program. Cherio is telling me to give him all of the Cherio, thank you. You have been doing a great job back there. Thank you so very much for being backstage, making sure that the production was absolutely fantastic. Thank you. My name is Vanin Dix. Have yourselves a pleasant and a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Fine friend like me.
Hey, see bestie. The bestie not sweet like my bestie. The bestie la bestie. Fine friend like me.
I say, see bestie wanting to happy. Fine friend like me. I hear them say they want me go, I say.